Hello, everybody. It's day before Thanksgiving, so I'm getting ready to get this bird. I'm gonna do a rotisserie this year. So the problem I have, I don't know if it's gonna be a big deal, but I want to rotisserie this turkey, but I don't know if it's gonna fit in the grill. I'm gonna make sure I truss it, tie it up, so that I can make it as small as possible. But this is a pretty big bird, so let me pause here and show you guys what I mean. You can see this is a pretty big bird. My wife said it was 16, but it looks a little bit bigger than that for me. So what I'm gonna do is gonna truss it, and then tomorrow I'm about to dry brine it. So I'm throwing some Tonys in there, injection, and then I'm also gonna use this on the bird to coat the skin, and then I'm gonna put some seasoning on there. Uh, I've kind of fallen in love with Heath Rowell's stuff, so I'm gonna use this and this, the honey rub. Let's get that in focus. So with those, and I'm gonna combine a couple of other things in there as well. Not a lot of sugar in these, so it won't cause it to burn. I'm really excited about this process because my backup is that if this is too big to actually spin on the rotisserie, I had 2 chickens on there last time, so I don't think it will be, but we'll see. But in any case, if this is too large, then what we'll do is simply put this, bring it back in the house, take it off the spit, cut the backbone out, spatchcock it, and then throw it on the grill that way. So there will be no love lost with this bird. It is going on the grill tomorrow, one way or another, but that's what we're looking at. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inject it here in the breast, underneath the breast meat. I'm going to get the legs, inject it into the wings, and then once I get everything injected and coated, I'm going to truss it off and then throw it into a very large bag. Well, I say that I'm going to truss it, then I'm going to use the residual to again cover it. This will be my oil or binder, if you will, and then I'm going to salt the shit out of this, pardon my French, with some salt and pepper, and then the Heath Riles. One other thing I do want to share is these salt and pepper shakers are electric, and they are the absolute bomb. I got these on Amazon, but these were allegedly Red Dot winners. That's what it said. Red Dot is an innovation award, and these really do the job very well. So they're rechargeable. They have their own little base that they sit in. I gotta vacuum that out, all the residual salt. So they have their little base that they sit in, and they really, really worked effectively. So I'm gonna throw a whole lot of salt, a whole lot of pepper, put a lot of seasoning, because I really want the osmosis to work over the next, let's see, it is 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I'll probably start cooking tomorrow this bird round maybe 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that range, because doing it that time will give me about 3 to 4 hours that I need to really get this bird going. It's going to be tough. If you remember from the last video, the challenge was keeping that fire lit inside of that firebox. So I've got some tricks that I'm going to try for that as well. I'm going to probably, what I'm thinking is I'm going to put charcoal at the bottom and on the side rotisserie baskets so that I can get more heat. So I'm going to see what that looks like for us. And other than that, it is going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. Going to enjoy it. A lot of family coming over. So this is one bird. We also have a breast about the same size as this bird that we're going to cook tomorrow. Have other trimmings and stuff. I'm going to make some glazed carrots, and is the other dish that I'm responsible for tomorrow. But in any case, let me go ahead and turn this thing off, and then I'll get to trussing and seasoning and sticking and injecting and stuff, and then we'll see what the results look like tomorrow. Hey, so moving on to our next step. The bird, I did a test fit. So what I did is took the bird, put him on the spit, put the spit inside the brackets, and then spun it to make sure that I had good clearance, that it would spin, all of those things successful, because it is a pretty big bird. I want to make sure that I had clearance, and engineering wise, you want to fail fast, right? So that means if my plan did not work, then I wanted to make sure that I had I can go to my backup plan, which is to scrap all of this, put my gratings back inside, and then do a spatchcock on the bird, so I can cut that backbone out, split him, throw him on the grill. But luckily, we don't have to do, not luckily, fortunately, we don't have to do that, right? We actually did the engineering, we made sure that everything fits the way it's supposed to, and so we should be good to go there. And then the other thing about the test fit also is that it allowed me to slide the bird where it needed to be for optimal heating and for optimal spin. Make sure that the tines were properly into the bird, so that's an important piece. We'll see that later. And I'm running a little bit different setup today. The last time I did the rotisserie chickens, I basically only had them on the quote-unquote infrared box, if you will, the rotisserie box, which was great, but a couple things. Number one, this isn't a lot of charcoal, and it burned fast, so one of the things I had to keep in mind here is that I had to keep refilling this portion over time, and it made the cook longer, number one. But it does give a good radiant heat from the side for rotisserie, which is a little closer to what a bird is. What I'm doing today is I'm going to light a fire at the bottom so that I have a constant source of fire on both sides. Not trying to speed up the cooking per se, but I want to make it more efficient so that I'm not constantly checking this box to make sure that it has the proper amount of charcoal and that charcoal is lit, because I had to relight it a couple times. So I want to make sure that I have that taken care of, because again, I want to make sure that that bird is doing what it's supposed to. So with that in mind, I put some charcoal at the bottom, just a nice little even layer, and I'm going to run with it down at the bottom, get it lit, and then light both of these so that we can get that bird pumping. So pretty soon here, sorry for my fingers in the shot. So what I'm going to do now is get everything lit, and then once we get a nice mature fire, we'll go ahead and get started with the bird. So hopefully this won't take more than 3 to 4 hours. Probably in that time span. It's 9, almost 10 o'clock now. So with that, that would be what, 1400, which is about 2 o'clock. It's an hour before we plan to cook, so that'll give us enough time for rest. I plan to also not be rushed. I want to make sure that I'm doing that I am able to get changed and engage in the process, as opposed to having to rush through and to eat and to get everybody served and everything. So that's the plan for today. So now I'm gonna get this fire started, and then I'm gonna go to my herb gardens and grab some herbs to stuff into that cavity to add that extra flavor, and then some extra herbs to throw as some smoke. I also got to get a couple of smoke blocks of pecan wood and throw in here. This is going to be wonderful. I just patted the bird dry. It's been dry brining, if you saw my other video, since yesterday, and also put the injection in there yesterday. Now, one of the problems with injection is once it gets inside the bird, the oil is a monosaturated oil, so it'll actually kind of congeal, but once the heat gets to it, it'll start to loosen up a little bit. So anyway, enough blabbing. Burning is where we're at now. So let me get started, and I'll hit you guys in a minute. It's been a little minute, probably about an hour. Let's go ahead and do a quick little check-in. we're still running. According to my Chef IQ, I'm looking at about another 20 minutes ish. So 15 minutes. Again, I have 2 probes in. So first probe, I'm sorry, all the charcoal dust in my nails. The thigh is target is about 185, so we have about 15 minutes to get to that and about 20 minutes to get from the to the 165 for the breast meat. May take it off a little sooner because everything looks amazing. So that's what we're looking at right now, is somewhere in that neighborhood. So if we reach that thigh meat at about 185, I'm gonna go ahead and probably pull it. That way that the carryover will take that breast meat over without drying it out. Don't really have a plan beyond that besides resting and letting it cook. So I guess that is the plan. So we let it rest, let the carryover. And that means that I've got the bird done early, and I'll see if there are any other opportunities to utilize that charcoal that's lit and fire burning. So might put a roast on there, something like that. We always have some secondary and tertiary meats that's going on, so that's the next move. All right, so the dark meat got to about 185, so I went ahead and pulled it because the white meat was at about 150. So with carryover, we should get up to that 165. So I brought it in, beautiful bird, just tinted it so that I can trap that heat and steam inside. There it is up there. And just gotta make sure I get everything nice and covered so that it continues to, during the rest period, cook. And I'll check back in with y'all. Sorry. And I'll check back in with y'all in just a few. All right, fam. First, we're gonna go through the screen capture mode so I can show you what the Chef IQ is showing me. So if I look at probe one is showing me that we're about 2 minutes away from being done here. We scroll down to probe two. Probe two says that we are finished. And you can see both meats prepared at their or reach their desired levels at the same time on the same spit. So this solves a fundamental problem with cooking with cooking turkey, particularly such a big piece, is that the meat needs to be at a certain temperature at the white meat side, and then the dark meat needs to be at a certain temperature. This is a third probe that's in the oven for a jerk roasted turkey breast that we're also doing. So my wife's working on that, but I wanted to kind of break in and show you what that looks like from the thermometer part. So now that it's resting, this 159 will go up, and it did go up to 165 during its rest period, whereas the dark meat again was at the temperature and was able to slow down or remove from its heat so it can stop cooking while the rest of it continued to raise to its level. I hope I'm saying this correctly, but in any case, I just wanted to stop in and show you why pulling it when I did is beneficial. All right, well, here's another voiceover where I unwrap the bird. It's the breast is now risen up to 165, while the dark meat, which had already been at 185, again cooking at the same time, so they were able to reach their desired temperatures, and you can see the result. It was a gorgeous bird, and it was quite delicious. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed my Thanksgiving adventure, and I appreciate you watching, and please like and subscribe for more content. See you.